Oh, yeah. I believe everything is good. All right. Who's playing tonight? Let's see the shit. You know the Pistons won again. That's the song I should play. Hopeful title, right? I mean, that's what it is. So the funny thing is, I was like, I'm just gonna stream until my PC crashes, and then if it crashes, I'm going to edit more and record like some random stuff. Like I can't even. You know, what's funny is I wanted to see if I could go in and right now Switch players can't play with PC players until you know how this happens when like new DLC comes out. So I couldn't even do that, and I was like, damn it, because I was actually prepared to what was I gonna record? Oh, the making the deal with making the deal with Billy's video. Not just Billy's, but Billy's are the first easiest ones to do, really. Are you a Hawks fan? Are you you're I'm assuming you're happy they traded Trae Young, right? Because I kind of make fun of Trae Young. This might be a hot take, but I think Trae Young ideally would be best off the bench. Because you know how bench scorers are usually like either really great at defense but no offense, or like really great at offense but no defense. Like that's most of the time like what bench players are, especially like on good teams. I was like, Trae Young would be like a fucking spectacular point guard slash just we need some scoring off the bench. I was like, I know that's a super hot take, but like it's so hard to hide him defensively. You know what I mean? There's a lot more of that this like in today's NBA where you can't get like hidden, you can't hide like anybody on defense. They'll just keep attacking you. And Trae Young can get steals, but that's it. And he does it by playing really risky, and then he gets blown by a lot. You know, Jalen Johnson just made the All Star game, didn't he? Also, what's up, Ghostface? You know what's funny? Yeah, Jalen Johnson made the All Star game. I'm pretty sure. But what's funny is Dyson Daniels is actually who I like most on your guys' team. That's the guy that gets all those fucking steals, right? He's your guys like defensive stopper. I didn't realize he was a point guard, and then he was 6'7". I knew he was 6'7", but I didn't realize he plays point guard. And this is SGA's cousin, right? He plays shooting guard. And this is Rook, right? No, this was last year's Rook. Do you still call him Rook? I don't know if Placebo's still here or not, but I'm like, do you still call him Rook or anything? Although they're probably on an ad too. Stupid ads. Stupid, stupid ads. Why do ads be doing that? I wish we could just not have any hat. Oh, Seahawks. Whoops. Here was talking about the Atlanta Hawks. I was like, are you happy to be rid of Trae Young? Zerk, nope. I have only seen like maybe like somewhere between 8 and 10 actual full episodes of South Park. I've always heard about a bunch of stuff and I've seen bits, but and I like South Park. It's just like TV. It's I wish I could watch all South Park, but There's not enough time in the world, you know? I usually like movies more than TV, personally, because movies is kind of like this funny thing. The whole thing is like it's like a one and done. Like you can sit and watch the whole thing and that's it, you know. But then the first thing I want to do is go back and look at parts of the movie again because be like, oh, after you knew this, so like you know, I love movies. Movies are awesome. Yeah, you know what's funny? I don't know where I saw the meme. I don't know if I posted it or not, but maybe I did. One second. Let me open the Discord really quick. I would have put it in sports if I did. All the ones I was posting were for the Seahawks. I guess I didn't post it. I know I saw it. Maybe I was at work when I saw it. But it was like I can't remember what it was. I think it was the Clockwork Orange, and where you know where it has like his eyes being forced to like held open, and he's like you know he's like all scared, and you know how they have those things like literally holding his eyelids open, so he's forced to watch in the Clockwork Orange. It was like that, and then it was like the Seahawks forced to watch that goal line interception for the next 2 weeks. Because that was the last time the Seahawks played the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Like it was funny. It was a bunch of stuff like that. Um, but that was kind of funny to think about, though. It's like, dang, Pete Carroll just got fired again. Actually, speaking of which, didn't he just get fired? I don't know why he got fired after one season, though. What is Oakland doing? That's not Oakland. I always think it's Oakland. That's Las Vegas now, right? How long is it gonna? How long do you still call them Oakland too? How long does it take you to like get to call it Vegas? Man, I am kind of rooting for the Seahawks though. Between the two, New England has got pretty lucky. But I used to say that about them years ago, and their point differential is great and everything. But didn't they literally have like the easiest schedule in the entire league? And then even in the playoffs, like when they played against Denver, their starting quarterback got hurt at the very end, so they played a backup the whole game. Also, what's up, Tug? How you doing, mate? Oh, the Pro Bowl. That's tomorrow. For some reason, I thought the Pro Bowl was after the Super Bowl. But the Pro Bowl is kind of a waste of a watch. Same with like the NBA actual All Star game is kind of a waste of a watch because nobody wants to play hard or play any actual defense or anything like that just because you don't want to get hurt. Rightfully, you know, you're like this is like an extra fun game. I don't want to tear an ACL or something like that. My Lions did not do as good, or my Packers. Look at this. At least the Packers made the playoffs. And then they lost to the Bears. Bears is another team I hate. Look at this. The funny thing about the Lions is they finished last in the division and they have the best point differential. Plus 68, plus 11, plus 31, plus 26. It's good to see at least one team from this division made the Super Bowl, though, you know? Because this was obviously the best division of football besides the Cardinals, but 14 and 3, 12 and 5, and 12 and 5 is nuts. Yeah, 13 and 4 and 12 and 5, and that's it. 14 and 3, 11 and 6. 14 and 3, 12 and 5. They had all the winners like right there. This team got a home game playing 8 and 9. They lost more games than they won and got to play at home in the playoffs. That's why I don't like how the NFL does it, but I understand because whenever I'm like, I like how NBA does it, but they're like, yeah, but then the divisions don't mean anything, and it's like, but at least like the seeding in the playoffs usually is actually right. Frosty PNG, thanks for the follow, mate. I appreciate it. All right, here's hoping my game doesn't crash, or if it does, at least we get a few games in before, because that's gonna be the deal with myself. If my PC crash, yeah, Frosty. I don't know what's going on, but my PC might crash. It is a regular thing. So if the stream just dies, I'm just gonna go edit instead because I need to be making more videos anyway. But we can't figure it out. I think there might be another Windows update some type of soon. I was like, maybe that would help. Because it was a Windows update that made it bad in the first place. Here's a preview that's available. But ever since that Windows update, my PC will just freeze. And it doesn't even have to be like in a game. It froze when we were in a pregame lobby. But that was the thing. I was like, if my PC crashes, then I'm just gonna go work on videos. It's funny because I can't actually record videos right now since I can't be on the Switch AFK and walk around the map like I usually do. Because since the new DLC came out, a lot of times Switches or people on the Switch can't play it with other platforms for a few weeks, and so I can't actually record anything like that. So we're gonna get a bunch of like funny compilations coming up. Like tomorrow, if I get it done tomorrow, is gonna be eating while looping the killer compilation. Oh yeah. What's up, Muhammad? How you doing, mate? Also, what's up? Hi. I think I'll chat in a minute. Yeah, not meant to watch all of it anyways. Exactly what we're talking about South Park. Same with like Simpsons. Family Guy's still running too, right? But South Park and Simpsons were before Family Guy. South Park was in the 90s, right? So was Simpsons, actually, wasn't it? Always Sunny in Philadelphia is like the real life version of that. They're still running. Always Sunny in Philly. Yeah, I'm better from that stomach. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Maybe it was like an actual illness, but like that was nuts. And my stomach was like sore. It was really weird. It wasn't a appendix or anything, because that's like one side or the other, right? I think it's like your right side. But it wasn't. It started up top and moved down low. I blamed it on just getting older. I was like, I'm about to be 34 now. Here's like a reminder, you know?
Oh, my house is grass, isn't it?
Oh my god, his voice is so much different. I'm going to be posting a lot of shorts too, because I have a ton of little stuff. It's going to be all over the place. Like the one today was like one single example of one of the little videos, because I'm like, do stuff like this. This trick can help.
That's it.
And it has like a link to the video. It's like, what did I watch? I did watch another movie. I'm just trying to remember which movie I watched. I miss Steve's old voice. I haven't heard Steve's new voice too much. Oh, I need to be playing Jumpsuit Jake, actually, speaking of which. That's going to be the next compilation I make after today's. Today's is only 3 matches, but it was eating while looping the killer. And because I already made one video with an example of that. But it was funny, because earlier in that game, I actually had much longer examples. But I used it... I used the later chase, which, like I said, was the shortest chase of the game, actually. But I basically just stayed in one spot the whole time on that chase, so I was like, okay. And it was like, this loop is so easy, you can eat during chase. And it's basically just going to be like eating during chase compilation or something. Or juicing killer while also eating snacks. Something like that, you know. Because I have a ton. You know what's funny is I was like thinking, I was like, what else should I do if I can't until I can jump in a custom game and do some walkthroughs. And I typed in stuff on my hard drive like oh shit. I like ran. Man, this is some horse shit. And there's literally gonna be not make it anywhere. These guys take a hit or not. I had two of them right there. That was the worst possible thing that could have happened, was to get thrown in the corner. Like we have Jumpsuit Jake to... I feel like I juked back into it too, instead of juking away from it. Well, that's the thing, Steampunk, because it doesn't even feel like you're multitasking. God damn it. Oh, nice.
Ow! I'll see you dead.
I'll just already be in the basement, right? No, there's a guy right there. Okay. There's that basement. There's that basement. Man, that was like the worst possible way to start a whole... Oh my god. I literally have a video called Don't Unhook Too Early. You're getting unhooked in the killer's face. I was like, well, this is the worst possible way to start a match that you haven't played in 3 days. Can it make it worse if I paid it to? I never even made it to a tile. We ran, held forward right in the beginning of the game, got hit by Wesker before we even ran in the map. Got thrown, so he didn't even make it to a tile. That is how you start. Skill issue, though, right? That's what they all say. Use skill issue. Normally, I'd say it's true. On this one, I'm like, I literally never even made it to a loopable tile. Oh my god, I'm just terrible with my phone in general. Hi. Problem is I started getting a bunch of texts and shit from like bots, and that just made me not give a shit about. And so I put my notifications sound like all the way to silent, and then I just miss shit all the time. Wait, I could have sprayed him actually. God damn it. We always talk about communications. If he's over there. Run to far corner. So you don't want to do a gen over here. Is there a gen over here? Doesn't even look like there is. You wouldn't want to do the one over here anyway. It would just be if I was getting... Well, that's kind of... That still might be a good one to save for last. So that would be the one to do right here. Hey, what's up, Vons? But that's awesome, LB. That is what I'm going to be working on more, especially if my PC keeps crashing, because then I'll just reboot it and try to record like a quick little thing. Because my PC's been crashing a lot. That's why my stream title is like, stream until my PC crash. But that way it's not like a doubt, so people aren't being like, is it only crashed on my screen? Or, you know what I mean? It's like, nope. I think that's pop, right? I don't know why he stayed down there. I didn't know if he maybe wanted to heal down there. His OP. You know what's funny is he has the... I don't even think he's... I actually think he's perfectly balanced, but... At the same time, he does have higher hit potential and damage output than Nurse does, in my opinion. It's just my opinion. But when you say that, it sounds like, so he's better than Nurse? And it's like, well, I'm just... The whole argument with Nurse is... I'm going to get... I want to run this way. But the odds of him hitting every single... Specifically, the thing that would make him as strong or stronger would be if they could hit their ground attack every single time, where they predict where you went every single time. And then they hit every single vine attack, you know what I mean? Like, that's why I was like, this does make him have the potential to put more damage output quicker than Nurse does, but it's going to happen so less often than with Nurse. Nurse is so much more consistently going to be, like, do better. This is my opinion, though. Because I was like, he's stronger than Nurse. I was like, potentially, but almost never is that actually going to happen. But it does suck when you just get hit by, like, 2 blind things, because the only counterplay you really have is just, like, be... I'm literally just... move, what's it called? Like, where you're not even thinking about it yourself. Unpredictably. There we go. I'm literally, like, doing that, too. Like, when I'm playing again. But Nurse, you actually can use, like, these things. Like, rocks and stuff. And Nurse can't... isn't 110 either, so can't, like, chase you down and then melee. Yeah, you literally, like, be moving like this while trying to stay, like, full speed. This is what I mean by, like, I'll be doing stuff like this in my chair, too. Damn it. Yes. It's funny that you get hit and be like, yes, but I don't think I'm gonna get back in the basement again. Damn it. I juked back into it the second time this game. That fucking sucks. Both times I was going the right way, and then juked back into it. Can't guess right yet. Well, yeah, I just meant doing that while holding W. It's like another one of the killers where using those edge map, like, rocks and shit like that. It's funny, I just said they're not as useful, but they're still useful, as opposed to Nurse. Nurse, you, like, she has to hit a blink. You know? Whereas this Vecna can, like, zone you out. The biggest if with him, I really think, is the ground attack. If you hit every single ground attack, it's just like, holy fuck, the damage output. But the odds of that happening. Even the other one is hard to hit, too, you know? Because same thing, the survivors are just moving unpredictably. and you're basically just trying to guess where they're going too. That's why I didn't like playing against him too much on the PTB, because it was more like just move unpredictable. Yeah, and I just keep saying the same thing over and over, but it wasn't like this type of loop or learn how to fake out his power. It was literally just like do some weird ass shit. You know? Yup, exhaustion is kind of an instant chase winner. Is that the right word? What I mean by potential damage output as well, but you're almost never going to see it, is like if you're on Midwich or Gideon and you're on the floor below and there's like a generator, you could potentially just like constantly hit 2 people. But the odds of that happening are like pretty much never. I was like, so I do think there is the case to be made. If you're talking about potential, then it's like, yeah, then he could be stronger than Nurse. You could argue that. It's just, if the odds are where it almost... Because even Nurse, that's what I was working on right now, is a full Nurse guide. And 200 matches I have, and have not played against a single Nurse where they hit me every single time they had the first opportunity, right? Where they missed like a blink or two, or they, you know... If I was in the range and they had the ability to hit me, but they didn't, then they were not a perfect Nurse. And I have never seen... I don't know if I've never seen a perfect Nurse, but I started highlighting, which is saving, every single game like two-ish years ago. You got Bamboozle. Can't make it far enough, though. Yeah, you got that Bam brain. Almost juked into it again. Yeah. Can we make it all the way over here? Yes! Now I'm going up this way. We lost all the 50-50s early on. Now we're winning them all. He does have Bam. We got the running vault, though, anyway. Vault it. No, he didn't do it. All right. They evened out, though, because we just won so many 50-50s. It's like, let's go. Yeah, like, Soup Alf would be like the... Yeah, exactly. I was talking the other day, because Soup Alf is like the #1 Nurse, right? He has the highest win streaks on Nurse, I know for a fact. That's what I mean by #1. Because there's probably 8 million different definitions of #1. Who's the comp Nurse? Who's the... You know? But Penzi, I remember. Penzi is like... I think of it, DVDs just go... He's like Devotion 140. He has like almost 30,000 hours. He's been playing since day one. And I ran into his Nurse before and got and that's what I mean by I don't think he missed a single blink. But that was before I started highlighting every single match. And of course, you get better at playing again. They're on controller. Good shit. God damn. Oh, which one, Buff Blight? I was like, I could make tons of that. I was like... I actually wasn't doing a map guide next, we were just talking about it. It's going to be like an 8-hour Nurse guide. Because I always think it's funny when people say Nurse is OP or has no counterplay. I'm like, Nurse has the most counterplay. That's just obviously my opinion. Everyone has their own opinion. I know this is a hot take, but I think Nurse is the most balanced killer in the whole game. Because the only killer where if you don't have a pallet or window, you're not shit out of luck. You know? Literally everything, and it's really cool because you look around at literally, it's the only killer that makes you look at every teeny little thing on the map. I guess twins do as well, because you're looking for something the perfect size to be able to loop Victor around, where his hitbox won't hit you. You know what I mean? And it's too small, so you really have to fall for some crazy mind game for him to be able to hit you, which does happen, but, you know. But Nurse, you like looking around for like a pile of rubble, and then you run past it, and then run right back to it and use it, because she has to blink to the correct side of the pile of rubble. It doesn't matter if there's no pallets or windows. It's like, hey, look at all these rocks I got, though. So you can have teammates throw every single pallet on the whole map on their very first chase if they want, and it's not going to affect your chase at all. That's why I love playing against Nurse. And why I think she's fair. I know she had some shit. Every killer has that, though. I know it's like, well, what about on Gideon Meat Plan or Midwich, you know? And it's like, but there's so many killers that have like certain maps. So you could say Knight then, right? And Doctor on Gideon Meat Plant. Both of them, especially with the right builds with both of them. It's like, what do you do against that? Because Knight gets free hits at corners, but how many corners are there on Gideon Meat Plant? You know, especially when the doors are closed and you don't have the right gens done yet. That's more than just 8 corners. That shit's more like 12. They just force you into a corner, get free hit. That's what's funny about that argument. But the whole argument with Nurse, right? And this is also the counter argument I have because, oh my god. Is he right here? No, he's not. I mean, he is, but not chasing. Because that's the whole argument with Nurse is like, well, what if Nurse? Because the whole point of like using the truck, right? She has to blink on the right side of the truck. So the whole argument with Nurse is, what if she predicts you right every single time? Same with that new Vecna we were just talking about. What if she predicts you right every single time and wins every 50-50, you know? So she hits all her blinks and well, I guess that's predicting every single time, right? And it's like, okay, well, let's see how often that happens, right? Because I have like 200 matches like saved that I went through. That's why it's already like 7 hours long. Because it was way longer than 7 hours. This shit was like 40, but I edited it down to 7 hours worth of gameplay of just actually getting chased by Nurse, and organized it by map. And I'm gonna have like the Nurse's win-loss record on map and tie. Add stuff to that too. Like if I considered something a win or loss, it's like no, it's what by everybody else says. 3K is a win. 2K is a tie. 1K is a loss. You know. No matter the circumstance, because there was some really fucky times where it was like the Nurse definitely won this game, but 2 of us got out, so technically it's a tie. Like I think one of them, the Nurse like slugged for the 4K and then pushed somebody else out, but when they pushed somebody else out, it had spawned like on my face. And that's what I mean by but I still count that as a tie. See, I usually think if the killer's this is why I'm like, there's too many stipulations and I just took all my shit out. But if the killer's playing nice and they get everybody hooked once, I think they won. If they're playing nice, then you're always going to have a hider. This killer is on red bar. I feel bad for the killer. But I got to remember that when we vault the window and get hit 15 feet past it. Oh yeah, I was gonna still do a looping guide on every single map. The funny thing was, Pale Rose might have been the one I did next, but they just changed the docks there. One of the docks I didn't change at all, actually, but 2 of the... Yes, they did. They took one window out, but that window sucked anyway. That doesn't really change that docks too much. The other 2, they split in half. Because there was... And they made 2 versions of them. So now there's like 5 versions of docks instead of 3. Oh, fuck. Well, this is bad. I'll probably end up going down here. But hopefully I can get them off. Alright. Well, that was lucky. You see like that right there, I was talking about like a pile of rubble, or this right here. Like you can use that against Nurse, and that's what I mean by makes you actually look at everything on the map. Or that rock, you know. Because I'm gonna go through like the obvious fundamentals in case people are brand new, you know what I mean, to the game, and like I heard Nurse is OP. What do you do? Which is like hiding, and I have like one total clip of hiding where it was hiding. Well, I guess yeah, it really only had like the one that I could think of where I hid and I got found anyway, and the Nurse had no head. It was funny. We were already getting annihilated, but there's 2 of us left. Was it no end or was it devour? It might have been devour actually. I was like, that's why I don't like hiding. It's too risky. I'd rather just get a big head start and use the secret sauce. That's how it's going to be labeled. It's going to be like hiding, and then it's going to be like holding W, and it's going to be breaking line of sight. But that's why I want to do holding W before breaking line of sight, because breaking line of sight is different than hiding. But when you break line of sight, you don't want to just break line of sight, and that's the whole point. Like, you don't want to turn the corner and then just cut immediately direct things so nurse can blink right across it and hit you, you know? You break line of sight, make them think you're going to go that way, and then you keep going holding W. So they kind of go hand in hand. It's like run. But yeah, I was gonna. That was the funny thing too, is I was just gonna make really short videos while my PC's been messing up until I get a new PC. So I was actually gonna be making a lot more videos. I put a short out today, but that was what I mean by like a brainless short. I just wanted to see how fast I could make a short that actually like was useful, because I already have a video explaining that trick. You know, if somebody is like around the hook and they're kind of camping it, so but they're camping it with like a projectile killer, so like you can't actually trade. And I already have a video on this where it's not even just that scenario, it's a bunch of other scenarios as well, where you fake unhook. So you go for the unhook, you go through the motion, and then you let go to miss the projectile, and then you go and unhook them. So I was like, it's pretty common, but I do have a whole video on that one. A bunch of different scenarios where it like kind of saved the whole game, and like really niche scenarios. So on that short, you can see something to the bottom left, I think, where it's like a link to that video as well that you click on. YouTube does have you incorporate it. We're not making it. Oh, maybe. Oh God! I forgot he had that that saw thing. Steam machine? What do you mean? No, I built the PC. And it's funny, I was thinking, I built it. Ha! That's what it always sounds like, but it was basically like putting Legos together. I mean, a bit more complicated than that, but you know what I mean. You buy a bunch of pieces and you put it together and you're like, aha, I invented this computer. But when you say you built the PC, it sounds like you like designed and produced the graphic card and processor yourself. It's like, no, I bought a bunch of pieces and then, you know, put it together. This was my first. This is from 2018. People think it's because we've been going through a bunch of things. A bunch of people had been helping me, and I've done more research as well, which completely aligned with what they were saying. But we went and looked at like the files right after before crashes and stuff like that, and it was like definitely was the NVIDIA driver, but apparently it was the Windows update with that NVIDIA driver that a bunch of people were having issues. Newer cards might not be crashing. My crashes were weird. Like everything would freeze, but like the last time it would freeze, like it finished playing the song I was listening to. Even though it was froze, right? I had to actually turn it off. The other times usually freeze for a few seconds, but then same thing. Like I was healing somebody, and while I was healing somebody and it froze for a few seconds. Well, that one, it lasted long too, but I could hear them still moaning. And then we were healing next to a generator that was already finished, and I could still hear the generator running, and I was just like, okay, well, what the hell? Yeah, stream, exactly. I do have a capture card, so technically I could do that, but I think that only, that means, maybe I think the pass-through is 120 frames, actually. I think the capture card captures 60, though. Which is nothing wrong with that. Yes.
This place. I recognize it from a horror story.
Yeah, the short I just put out was like a link to that. That's what I mean by I can do tons of little shorts too, where I just already have a even single tile walkthrough. And it could just be like I was gonna do that. I played against the twins on Getting Meat Plant the other day, where the twins kept trying to figure it out. Vermin Supreme. Was that his name? Vermin Supreme? When he said, "Who do y'all vote?" I think I'm pretty sure he was asking about like the in-game survivor vote. Wasn't there a guy named Vermin Supreme? Alright, nice. He wore like a boot on his head or something. It's like a low-key political joke I was making. So I'm like, let me look this up. Oh, no, we're loading it now. I don't want to put any extra pressure on anything. Even playing music right now, I'm like, does this increase the odds of my PC crashing? Because when PC crash, I'm going to edit.
Stay alive, all of you.
A new storehouse. They changed this a little bit. This window is now a little bit stronger, and that window is a little bit weaker. I never noticed, but with the, at least, no, I think that's RNG past it, but it looks like a face smiling. Does anybody else see that? The window? The little grating looks like teeth, like, and then that rock behind it is the left eye, and the wire spool is the right eye. He's smiling like, but he looks like a villain. Now I can't unsee it. Dang it, I should have been looking. I forgot I have perks now. I don't want to unhook him too soon. We'll make it. Yes. Oh shit. Damn. Nice, they got her back up though. At first I was like, should I go try to get her up since I will make it? I was like, but then what if he gets down? And then if I go get her back up, he's over there by me anyway and just slaps her right back down. You know? Oh, I've started running this build. Kapanya. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. It's an all common perks build. Because you know how people always say that, like, I mean, number one, they say, like, Survivor's too hard and takes all these thousands of hours, and it scares people off of even trying. That's my problem. That's why I want to make those looping guides. One of the many reasons, really. But, this build is to counter the argument, because I like trash talk, obviously. I have a whole video on that one, too. But, every now and then someone talking trash and telling me I'm playing selfish because I'm not running any perks, and they're like, you could run at least run perks that would help the team. And that is true. Does he respect this? Not at all. God damn. I need to keep him over here though. No. You're in the far corner. I was like, I need to keep him here. So, we were talking for a long time about trying to figure out a build. At first, we were trying to do like all teammate aura reading perks. We couldn't. I thought I had a build all picked out, and I remember one of them was on like Yoichi or something. So not only was he a DLC, he was a paid DLC. So then I was like, well, let's just do like base survivors and whatnot, you know, something like that. And then I forgot Ace was only base survivor on like Xbox or something like that. Because I had open-handed. No, I wanted him to come this way. And then I was going to take the hit. Oh my god. No, dude. Run, Steve. I thought he was going to miss that for a sec. Speaking of talking trash, I love talking trash too, but like, same with about tunneling, but look how many gens are done. And there's another one like over halfway done. No, this one's not Chaos Shuffle. This is a builder who's just been running. Oh yeah, so then at that point I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to make a build all common perks. And look how strong this build is. Because people make it seem like you have to buy a bunch of DLC, and or if you don't just have to buy a bunch of DLC, you have to grind a bunch of survivors. But doing it, since this is literally just all common perks, there's now, what? There's now 11. There used to be 8 common perks, or survivor common perks, but Lori's perks just got added, so there's 11 now. But before those 3 got added, at the very lowest, because you can get them way higher than that, especially if you're actually just paying attention. But if you were literally auto-spending and got the worst RNG with perks that, when you were auto-spending, you would at very latest, on your first survivor, never leveling up any other survivors, be able to get this exact build in all tier 3 by Blood Web level 30. Not Prestige 30, Blood Web level 30. That's kind of the idea behind the build, which is true. I'm running up forward for a sec. No! Wraith got by me. I didn't help Steve at all. No, I'm sorry, Steve. I'm trying. I'm the worst body blocker in the fucking world. Now I'm on Deathlick, though. Now I can't do that again. But maybe he can make it back to main now. He still has the pallet up. Did that help him get away? He was just at like a filler pallet, so maybe. I don't know. I feel like I threw instead of helped. I can call you Koopa. Hey, Scooby-Doo. See, I could do another add-on to that video. Scooby-Doo's butthole. Z-Wall. Yeah. We make it back to the Z-Wall. Yes, Z-Wall value, dude. Let's fucking go. Damn it, I was gonna vault it that time with that lusty blood. Let's go, dude. Z-Wall value and it actually matters. That like never happens. Let's go. Against the new Vecna, just be unpredictable. It is funny because it sounds like shit advice, but it's literally just like run in ways you don't even expect. Because you got to be thinking like you're playing against nerds. Don't run towards pallets or windows, right? That's even the worst thing. Don't ever run towards any bottlenecks or anything like that. Like I'd be moving around like this in my chair too while doing it. Because I'm just like trying to be weird. Or do weird pathing. Like 20 seconds. Dude, I got a whole video on Z-Walls. There was one we ran, like, because it was connected to something. Where we ran way longer than that. But that was pretty good. That would have went in that video. How long is that video? Like 15-ish minutes? I had like 3 different tiers of value on Z-Wall. I was like, technically, as long as you win 150-50, it's value. You know, and then there's a bunch where you win enough 50-50s or you actually vaulted it 3 times. And then it was and then it was like actually winning a 50-50 and making it away to anything else is like true value. But then you get it like that one where it's like close enough where you can make it basically back and forth. No, if I was there. Can't let go, right? I think it's DMS. Oh, that's fucking terrible. I blocked that one, though. I don't know if he's gonna know that this one... Now I can't let go.
Nothing to worry about.
It gave me a skill check that fast, and she moved for a second. That's such shit. Not even on her end, because you know, like you move for like a thing. It just is like such shit RNG. Fuck, and my dumbass don't remember where the doors are. There is no pallet there, though. I was gonna run to the smaller window, but they were picking her up kind of close to there.